Welcome back, guys, to others originals versus bootlegs, part number 9. The last one night I did, someone did comment that I made a mistake with saying it was 7, it was actually 8. Yeah, what do you want? I can't count. And somebody else was saying to me, goes, oh, man, the Sega board that you were showing, which was this one here, the old Golden X2, isn't system 24 or 16, it's actually 32. But no one actually picked that up. Only one guy goes, man, it's 32, man, not 24 that you keep saying. I just want to test you guys out if anyone can pick it up, what I was saying, you know. So yeah, I was testing you guys out to see you guys are paying attention at this system. So when the last of this system went to jam, I was actually 32. Okay, so it was 16, 24, 32. So yep, it's still here. I haven't touched it, haven't worked on it. Trying to work out when I'm in a good mood to work on this guy, you know. So yeah, so today, and by the way, they were also saying, man, you were pretty hard on the Konami thing, man. What has Konami done to you to pick on those guys all the time? I said, no, man, I haven't picked on Konami. I just say working on their board is such a prick of a job to do, you know, and you've got to have a clear conscience, clear mind and all that. Remember, this is that X-Men 6 player. This is another one. This is actually my one that I got into, so I could use this to help out, to compare, to fix the other guy's board. So I actually purchased this one. This one had problem. You can see what was wrong with that again. All right, now somebody goes, oh, what happened to these guys? I said, mate, I'll show you. I found it and have a look. Can you see closely? Look at it. That's the DAC chip. Okay, look at it. These caps leak out, and when they leak out, this is what happens to it. So I can't save that DAC chip. So what I normally always do is get another new one. But you've got to replace the Konami custom chip onto this board. Basically, it's underneath. So yeah, that's what happens to these Konami. It happens to Run and Gun 2s, Lethal Enforcers, and all these modules. These caps leak out. They are crap. Okay, not only for us, it's also in the laptops as well. They just leak out and it just starts eating the tracks away. So I thought I'll show you that, because don't get me wrong, I'm not picking on Konami. Konami's done some really great games and they're still out there making great games. They're doing really great poker machines. If you're into gambling, they make some really great looking software for their gaming machines. They're still out there. Don't forget, they also we're one stage ahead of the dancing games, the DDRs, the Freak Mania, the drum machines, and a lot of their other dancing games. They had a lot of dancing games, even their coin pushers. They are unbelievable. Don't get me wrong, Konami stuff is still out there and they're still making products, okay? So don't get me wrong. So now this topic of number 9, what I'm going to talk about. So this is on the fly. So I decided to talk about Konami to continue off. These poor bastards got hammered back in the 80s. They got all their games bootlegged, something chronic. So they lost a lot of money on their games. Really, check it out. There's so many we call these scrambles, these connectors, okay? Because the original one was on the Scramble system, so we called them Scramble system. So Konami kept this on for all their platforms. I don't know when they changed the system to some other edge connector. I don't know on that one. So if you want, you could go to a site called System 16, and that's a site that's with all arcade photos and games that they've produced and that. So yeah, so this is what I've got in front of you here is Hyper Olympics. This is the original one, okay, and this is the bootleg version. Have a good look. Pretty close. Okay, have a look. It's pretty close to it. You know, the ROM board. There's a sound section over here. Okay, now let's open him up. All right, you can sort of see. Okay, and these guys. Everybody must remember Hyper Olympics. What happened was they had a battery on there to keep the high scores on the track games, you know, because it was competitive, you know. Some people used to use it. Oh, somebody said, what does 2 Bob look like? Okay, here. This is 2 Bob. Okay, that's what our coin looks like. It's a 20-cent piece. It's got a platypus in the back. So that's what 2 Bob looks like, you know. It's the old saying, 2 Bob, you know. So yeah, so people don't see, you know. Oh, here. These are some of the coins for the internationals. There's our dollar coin. And there's our $2. Look how small it is. The $2 is less. It's smaller than the $1 coin. So yeah, that's 88 when the dollar coin came out. I can't remember what year when the $2 coin came out. But when the dollar coin out was a big change on us because the saving. Imagine how many 20-cent. Hang on, I'm digging out the 20 cents again. Picture how many of these little 20-cent pieces are in the cash boxes back in the day. You know, fucking shitloads. So yeah, so this is you can sort of see how close they are. Again. What happened was Konami back in the day had custom chips, okay? Again, they had custom chips. They have been remade now, okay? Sorry, that's actually the processor. What am I pointing at? That's the custom chip, okay? But Konami put a details and didn't tell them what it was, but that's actually a 6809 processor. Because you have a look at the bootleg, there it is there. It's a 6809. So there's the custom chip. So what they do? Put TTL chips again, you know. They always cracked it, but these poor bastards, they got hammered badly with the bootlegs. Okay, let me move on. Okay, what have I got here? Okay, this is Gyrus. Okay, this is a bootleg version of Gyrus. Hang on, let's move some stuff around. Yeah, this is a bootleg of Gyrus. Okay, Gyrus was in stereo. Don't forget, this is around about 82 or 83, around there. Don't correct me, comment, whatever I said. I can't remember everything. But there was stereo, you know, it was advance of their times with that. But have a look, how many, these are sound chips. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5, okay? Remember my Toto, hang on, now you can see, there's 5 here. Toto had about 3 on their board to do sounds. These guys had 5 to do each single sound of that game. Google it. It's a great sound on it. And it's like unbelievable sound. Don't forget, these are 80 games here. So, again, have a look at it. Oh, okay, well, you go, what the hell is that? Okay, there's guys out there who've actually made test ROMs for these. Salute those guys. Good on you guys. As I said to you, it makes life easy. So they made a test ROM. So what you do, you put it on the piggyback, I've done it, and jump in it. So I can test what's wrong with this. It does a little quick run program. They've also done some other EPROMs. Here's one for Time Pilot. Okay, there's a test ROM for Time Pilot, and there's one test ROM for Hyper Olympics. So it does what it does. It just does a cheap code, tests the RAMs, bit of information, just to give you the heads up. Makes life a little bit easier, you know. But Konami's never kept the system the same. See, same scramble system. Okay, and a good thing it is, okay, let me get my stuff out. It's easy to work, you know, there's plenty of circuit diagrams. Have a look at this. You don't get this every day, but the bootleg and the original are pretty close. So you can at least work with something to fix it. Back in the day, we never had circuit diagrams to work on them. But having a circuit diagram, mate, it's like a walk in the park. You know, so yeah, sometimes, and they're pretty close, so you can use this to work on other ones, you know, when you get screwed. Okay? Here, hang on. Oh, what do we got here? Okay, we got a Time Pilot again. All right, another bootleg of a Time Pilot. Okay, there, Time Pilot. Sound section. Okay, they didn't change. They didn't reinvent the wheel. Okay, let's flip him over so you can sort of see. All right, see again, pretty basic board using a Z80. Again, this is basic boards to repair. So. Again, there's not much work on the bootlegs to repair, you know. So, yeah, man, but it's only Time Pilot, you know. It's only Time Pilot. Yeah, man, Time Pilot made a shitload of cash. Oh, back in the day, they used to call it Space Pilot too. The bootlegs were Space Pilot, you know. Same game. All you got to do is just change the EPROM. You just change the EPROMs. They change the EPROMs over, and you could make it to Time Pilot or Space Pilot if you want, you know. So let me grab another board. What else have I got kicking around for here? Oh, here. This is a bootleg version of Time Pilot 84. Okay, so have a look. The daughter board. So that must have been a custom chip here. So what did they do? They put a daughter board here. Okay, again. Oh, and that's someone commented about that joke from one of my other videos about my missus again with that one. So yeah, she's getting a bit of slack at the moment, you know. But let's open him up to show you what's inside, basically, you know. Yeah. Yeah. So everyone's enjoying it because of good variety of crap that games that I've got out there. You know, I told you I do have a lot of games out there. So again, have a look inside. All right. So there you go. So another daughter board. So this must have been a custom chip, and they cracked it. So again, what can go wrong with this? Standard TTL chips, programs out there. And like I keep saying, lucky for those guys out there who spent the time and effort uploading all this stuff for everybody. No one preached that, man, you know. But as I said, it does take time. And sometimes he goes, oh, what do you do sometimes when some of your boards you can't be repaired? I said, mate, I put them on eBay and I put them on the I can't be stuffed sale. How many can I sit there repairing, mate? You know, it just takes time. Let other people spend the time, get it up and educate yourself, how to fix them, you know. It's like I said, you know, to want to work on a board, get a basic board to work on. It's like working on a lawnmower. You know, you start off with a lawnmower, then you go to the big high-end stuff. If you don't know how a combustion motor works, you start with a lawnmower, you know. But as I said, start off with a basic board. Play around with it. There's a circuit diagram there. Learn how to read circuit diagrams. So what else I've got to show you? Oh, what a classic. Leave the good to last. Check this guy out. Okay, this is an original one to the USA. I've got a question. I've got something for you guys about it. And I was talking to another friend of mine, the guy with the Shinobi and the Golden Axe, about American market. You know, this is baffling us. It just bear. I'm not going to say bear with me because every time you do a video, so bear with me. You know, it sounds like beer with me. You know, I wouldn't mind a beer at the moment. So so this is Scramble. Okay, original Konami Scramble. Look at the bootleg. I'm going to put it over here so you can have a look at it. Look at the bootleg, MU1. You'll see this. Put it in the camera view. Yeah, look, MU1. You'll see a lot of these MU1 boards floating around. So they were another, again, as I said to you, Konami got hammered with the bootlegs. So check this guy out. How close is it? You know, look at it. Have a look. Have a look. You know, how close is it? I open them up. Have a sticky nose. Have a look. How good is that? How good at it? Oh, the stickers copped a beating because of the way I handle them. But have a look. All right. Nothing. It's all exactly the same. Have a look. Okay, over here, they got missing some. There's a TTL. There's some RAM over here. Here's some RAM. Over here, it's got some other chips. I can't tell you what they are. Oh, they're just 04s. They're just buffers. But have a look. How hard is it to repair this guy? I don't know what's wrong with him. I haven't looked at him. Just as I said, I just pulled him out of the boxes of other stuff. You know, just to show you the comparison between original and a bootleg. You know, of this era, they were so close to each other, it was hard to pick. So, yeah, you know, every day you get, move my hands out of the way. Yeah, what else I got to show you? Oh, yeah, hang on, I've got another one. Yeah, this one here is a Konami. This is called Mikie. What have I wrote here? ROM 1. I think something's wrong with the ROM. Okay, this is Mikie. It's an original board. I don't know if they made a bootleg of this version of this game. Still the Scramble system. They haven't changed it, you know. So they kept it for the lot of their games. But these guys got hammered. I've actually got notes here. They got hammered on Froggers. The Scramble hardware was used so many times on other games. The Galaxian software was used to other games as well to put on there. There was also a crazy Krong on their systems that they did, you know. Where on there, they've done the systems. They've done the Crazy Kongs. They did the Cobra, the Super Cobra. You know, Puyang, another great game, got hammered, bootlegged in that. But one thing I can tell you, Konami had the best sockets. These black sockets are the best. Swear to God, they're the best I've seen. Okay, they're done by JAE. And I still use them. I get the girl from China buying me. They're not these. They're the same brand, JE sockets. They are really good quality sockets. We used to use them on the poker boards back in the day, on the Falcons and the MA1s and that, back at the 5-card studs and that. That's where I originally started from. And they were great they're great sockets. They had the tension on there. They didn't fatigue over time or nothing. Basically, they were a great socket. You know. That's why I say to you guys, don't buy crap, man. You'll pay for it in the long run, you know, in repairs. You know, go, oh yeah, you know, but it's cheap. Mate, cheap, sometimes you cop it in the arse. Okay? So, again, at least this era of boards of the 80s was easy to repair. But then you could sort of see they started getting harder and harder to crack, you know, because you have a look what they done. They actually scratched off the numbers to stop people from checking what they were. But don't forget, there was no EEPROM programmers there, you know. What, oh, he's getting cheap Chinese for EEPROM programming, you could just verify that. There was none of that crap there, man. Even that, have a look, they got rid of that RAM chip. You can see that's a RAM chip because it's next to the EEPROM, and that's a processor with the audio. This is the audio section. With that, we're looking at nothing. I can sort of work that out. This is the sound section, basically. So this is a game called Mikie. It's a little kid at a school class going around. I think he was naughty like me when I used to be a bad kid at school, you know. But yeah, so that's all about Konami. What else I've got to show you with Konami? So yeah, so this is number 9, talking about Konami to make up for all that. But yeah, at least their games are easy to repair, you know what I mean? And good thing is, there's a lot of information out there. So yeah, this is for Konami, you know, as I said. It's hard to come up with stories of that, but don't trust me. You would have played these back in the days, and yeah, and you would have said, yeah, man, I would have noticed the difference between the original and the bootleg. But again, oh, that's what I was going to say to you. Back to the American market. We were talking to my mate about this. I do have mates. And I go, why would America, because he was talking about that Xevious. He goes, mate, I've never seen an Xevious, an Atari Xevious. I said, mate, I think what happens is, correct me anyone out of America who's at my age group who knows, help me out, help the others out. I think what it is, Atari would have gone to Namco, say, listen, man, we'll get your software and we'll build their own board due to sales tax. Because importing games back in the day would have been expensive. So they would have said, all right, well, we're going to make 10,000 boards. Okay, to pay sales tax, back in our days, we used to pay about 30% on sales tax on a game board. So if it was $1,000 US, you had to come up with another $300 US on top of that. So you think about it, 10,000 boards, for example, you know, would sell in America, okay? American market only. So it would be cheaper for them to build their own board and using their program chips and all that, rather than importing it. So there was no import taxes. So they would build them in the US to save money. So that's what I think what happened back in the day, because Midway did that with Pac-Man. Okay, Pole Position was Namco, was licensed for Atari. Everyone goes, oh, it's an Atari game. No, it wasn't. It's Namco. So Namco and Atari were working together with a lot of their games. And Nintendo did their own. They started importing back in the day, licensing their games as well. And who else was there? Midway. No, forget about it. Stern. Stern back then were doing video games. And I know Stern actually did the Scramble for the American market. Look that up, okay? So Stern used to get licensing of other game companies to sell in America, basically. So yeah, Stern didn't do only pinballs; it also did video games back in the day as well. So yeah, so there was something there interesting. So anyone out of America who heard about stories like this, correct me on what I'm saying, but I reckon it was because of sales tax. It was so expensive on that, so that by building their own games, they would have saved a shitload of cash. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's what happened to us. We were paying up to 30% on our games back in the day on sales tax. Now we've got GST, it's different, which is the best thing ever. But yeah, so I hope this video was a bit more entertaining just on Konami. So number 10, don't worry, number 10, I've got something good on my sleeve for that one, for number 10. So yeah, can't believe it. We're going up to number 10 now. All right, thanks for watching this video again. You know, like I say, video, pinballs are a passion. Keep the love. Thank you, guys.